Welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most chilling and enduring mysteries in history, the legend of Jack the Ripper. Was he a deranged maniac, a criminal mastermind, or someone hiding in plain sight? Join us as we unravel the grisly details and delve into the theories behind the world's most infamous serial killer. Setting the scene. It's 1888, and Victorian London is a bustling city marked by sharp contrasts. The West End, with its grand theaters, luxurious townhouses, and affluent residents, epitomizes wealth and opulence. In stark contrast, the East End, particularly the district of Whitechapel, tells a story of hardship and despair. Overcrowded and squalid, Whitechapel is a maze of grimy, narrow streets teeming with desperate souls. Its poorly lit alleys are lined with crumbling buildings, where families often cram into single-room dwellings, struggling to make ends meet. The air is thick with the stench of poverty and neglect, and crime runs rampant. It's a place where anonymity is easily maintained, and shadows conceal dark deeds. This grim and unforgiving environment becomes the perfect stage for a nightmare to unfold, a breeding ground for fear and legend. As the shadowy figure we now know as Jack the Ripper begins his reign of terror. The victims. Jack the Ripper's reign of terror is tied to the brutal murders of 5 women, collectively known as the Canonical Five. These victims were Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. Each murder grew progressively more gruesome, with mutilations that shocked even seasoned investigators. Mary Ann Nichols, the first victim, was found with her throat slashed and abdomen mutilated. By the time of Mary Jane Kelly's murder, the savagery had reached unimaginable levels, leaving behind a scene of pure horror. The killings weren't just random acts of violence. They seemed calculated, with increasing confidence or insanity guiding the killer's hand. The investigation. The police faced immense pressure to solve the case, but their efforts were fraught with challenges. Scotland Yard and the City of London Police both worked on the case, but a lack of coordination and the sheer chaos of the area hindered progress. The arrival of letters claiming to be from the killer only added to the confusion. One, in particular, stood out: the infamous "From Hell" letter, which included a human kidney. Signed Jack the Ripper, this letter gave the killer his enduring moniker. Despite interviewing thousands of people and detaining dozens, the investigation was plagued by forensic limitations and media interference. Jack the Ripper slipped through the cracks, leaving behind a trail of terror and unanswered questions. Why was Jack never caught? There were many reasons why Jack the Ripper was never brought to justice, making his case one of the most perplexing mysteries in history. The lack of forensic science during the late 19th century meant that investigators had no access to modern tools like DNA analysis, fingerprinting, or even reliable blood testing. Without these essential technologies, piecing together physical evidence was nearly impossible. Adding to the challenge, Whitechapel's maze-like streets, filled with dark alleys and overcrowded slums, provided countless hiding spots. The area's chaotic environment allowed the killer to vanish into the shadows, blending seamlessly with the teeming crowds. The media frenzy surrounding the murders only compounded the difficulty. Sensationalist newspapers latched onto the story, printing wild rumors, exaggerated claims, and even fabricated details to sell papers. Public hysteria soared as misinformation spread, clouding the investigation and leading police down countless false paths. Theories and suspects. Over the years, countless theories have emerged about Jack the Ripper's identity. Suspects ranged from local butchers and surgeons to high-profile figures like Prince Albert Victor, Queen Victoria's grandson. Others pointed to Aaron Kosminski, a Polish barber, or Dr. Francis Tumblety, an American physician with a suspicious history. Each theory has its merits and flaws, but none offer definitive proof. The lack of concrete evidence has kept the mystery alive, sparking debates among historians, detectives, and true crime enthusiasts. The Ripper's legacy. Jack the Ripper's impact went beyond the murders themselves. His crimes highlighted the dire living conditions in Whitechapel, forcing authorities to confront the social inequalities of the time. The case also marked the birth of the modern celebrity criminal. The Ripper became a media sensation, inspiring countless books, films, and even video games. His story has been retold and reimagined, cementing his place in popular culture as both a villain and a mystery. Could we solve the case today? Advances in technology have reignited efforts to uncover the truth. DNA analysis, criminal profiling, and digital mapping offer tools that investigators in 1888 could only dream of. Despite these advances, the age of the evidence poses a significant challenge. Much of it is lost, degraded, or contaminated. While some claim breakthroughs are imminent, others believe the mystery is destined to remain unsolved, a haunting reminder of the unknown. The psychological profile. Experts have tried to piece together a psychological profile of Jack the Ripper. Many believe he was a sociopath, able to blend into society while harboring dark and violent urges. The precision of his mutilations suggests some medical knowledge, leading to speculation that he might have been a doctor or butcher. His ability to evade capture indicates cunning and intelligence, making him a uniquely terrifying figure in criminal history. Cultural impact. The legend of Jack the Ripper has transcended time. He's become a macabre icon, inspiring stories, movies, and even tourist attractions. The eerie atmosphere of foggy Victorian London adds to the allure, making his story a staple in the true crime genre. But why does he captivate us? Perhaps it's the combination of mystery, horror, and the human fascination with the macabre. Whatever the reason, Jack the Ripper continues to cast a long shadow over history. Why does the mystery matter? The Ripper case isn't just a gruesome tale of murder. It's a lens into a pivotal moment in history that reveals much about the society in which it unfolded. It exposes the stark social divides of Victorian London, where the wealthy thrived in opulent neighborhoods while the poor struggled to survive in overcrowded, unsanitary conditions like those in Whitechapel. This contrast highlights the vast inequalities that defined the era and the neglect of marginalized communities. The case also underscores the limitations of 19th century policing, a time when investigative techniques were rudimentary at best. Without forensic science, detectives relied heavily on witness testimonies and rudimentary observations, which proved insufficient against a killer as elusive as Jack the Ripper. Furthermore, the media's sensationalized coverage played a pivotal role in shaping public perception, spreading fear, misinformation, and even hysteria, which ultimately hindered the investigation. Beyond its historical context, the case serves as a chilling reminder of humanity's darker nature. That evil can lurk in the most ordinary places, hidden behind the anonymity of the crowd. Jack the Ripper wasn't a mythical monster, but a person who walked the same streets as his victims, blending into society while committing unspeakable acts. His story remains a haunting reflection of how little we sometimes know about those around us. And there you have it. The haunting story of Jack the Ripper. What do you think? Is it possible to solve this mystery? Or should it remain one of history's greatest enigmas? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from history's darkest corners. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.